Yo. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show. Today is June 21st. Shout out to my mama. Mama birthday today, man. Love you, mama. Happy birthday to Mom Dukes, Mama ChrisBeCappinn. Actually just one play to recap, and then we'll jump into it's a small slate on the WNBA for today. It's only 2 games on the board. So we'll go through those games. It's a big slate for tomorrow, though, so I'll probably end up doing another show tonight to try to get ahead of some of those lines if you guys want to tune back in later. I think it's 5 games in the W for tomorrow. So, yeah, big day for the W tomorrow. As far as yesterday, only signaled one play. That one play was, let's see, I thought I had this up, right? I guess I did not. That was the Dallas Wings minus the 4 last night was the official play for me. Dallas, of course, they wet the bed, man. Just late in the game, up by 6, and they give up the 3-pointer to Sinai Rivers, and Paige Beckers missed the free throw, and then Dallas can't. The Connecticut Sun can't foul, and the time gets runs out. So I thought it was the right side yesterday. Connecticut did play a little bit better than I thought they would. Dallas missed a lot of free throws. Easily could have won the game. They end up, if people didn't watch the game, they end up not covering by a point. They won the game by 3 last night. Never could lay too many points with Dallas on on the road, but I thought that they would be better than Connecticut. Also turned the ball over like 1,000 times last night, man. I'm just watching the game and I'm thinking to myself, it's not even supposed to be this close. Enrique is terrible. Shout out to Paige. Lou Ruth looked good last night. Your Ruth looked good last night. But Dallas sucks, man. Not going to lie to you guys. Dallas sucks, and Connecticut continues to take my money. I think I've lost 3 bets fading Connecticut this season. And typically it's been about half a point, 2 points here. Not a good team, but they've been finding a way to take my money for sure. So got to do a little bit better today. Problem is I don't really enjoy the slate too much. I thought I did yesterday, and then I found some stuff that made me feel like I didn't as much. But we'll talk the 2 games out. Hopefully, there's some cappers in the chat, and we can talk these 2 games out real quick. So that's how I did. Let's see what you guys are thinking and what comments we have here. Genesis went 1-3 in the W last night. Cashed on the Storm +3. That was the right side. I do heavily agree. We talked about it yesterday, letting Asia get ruled in, and then seeing what the line would, go up to, and it's flipped all the way to the Aces laying 3 points. Aces can't be laying 3 points to anybody right now, it feels like. Lost on Asia under her 35.5 points, rebounds, and assists because she had 14 boards last night. Shout out to Asia, went crazy last night. Wings -4, watched it under 158. I got to do better today. Actually, we all got to do better, but something just didn't. If we go back to yesterday, I said that, man, something just didn't feel right in that Washington Atlanta under. It felt too easy, and both teams scored 90 points, 91 and 92 last night, and it may have gotten to 100 apiece if Brittany Sykes doesn't miss that free throw at the end. So, yeah, that's a. I mean, I don't think you did anything wrong. It's just total opposite happened. Total opposite happened. Good morning, Martez. Appreciate you for tapping in. GLB says, what's good, Chris and Chad? Good day to make some money in the W and the MLB. Won't be any MLB for me, but best of luck, GLB. I hope you cash. Derek says, let's get this money. Happy birthday, Mom. Appreciate that, Derek. What's up, Marquise? Appreciate you for tapping in. What's up, Justin? My guy Mark in here as always. Couple Joe says he went 3-0 in the W last night. Storm covered Diggins dimes and Lloyd threes. I like to see that. Couple Joe. I'm glad you cashed it, man. Yeah, Aces, tough spot tomorrow, too. Boy, they got a tough spot tomorrow. But we'll talk about it. We will talk about it. What's up? I love us. Appreciate you for tapping in. How about Couple Joe says on Mama Fee over 21.5 points. AT dub. Morning to the chat. So we'll talk about those as well. What up, Casey? Appreciate you for tapping in. Let's jump into it for today. jaXon gave out, I think, 2 plays yesterday. I talked about jaXon and both of them was losers. Ryan Howard under her rebounds and assists. I think she had the most rebounds and assists she may have had all season. Everything that was supposed to happen in the Washington game went the opposite way, though. Alicia Gray barely finished with 17. And I know we talked about taking her over her points yesterday at 17.5. She got to 18, but it was hard for her to get to 18. She scored a couple buckets late in that game. I think the free throw might have pushed her over. So but jaXon liked her over her assist, or I think it was her rebounds. She didn't cash. She only finished with 2. And jaXon also like Ron Howard under, I think it was 8.5 rebounds and assists, and she finished with 11. So jaXon went 0-2 yesterday after giving out the under, which was a winner in the Indiana Pacers and Oklahoma City Thunder series. So jaXon got to do a little bit better today as well. As far as prompts for today, 1 over, 1 under. As far as WNBA props, jaXon likes Satu Sabli over her points plus rebounds at 26.5 minus 122. It says she's been in excellent form, hitting it over in 80% of her last 5 games, 70% of her last 10 games for this prop. Against the Sky this season, she recorded 28 points plus rebounds, showcasing her ability to dominate the matchup. The Sky ranked poorly in defensive metrics, allowing significant production to opposing forwards, which further supports Sabli's chances of exceeding this line. On the road, Sabli's averaging 27 points plus rebounds, aligning well with today's line of 26.5. So take Satu Sabli over her 26.5 points plus rebounds, minus 122 odds on FanDuel is what jaXon is sharing. And then the under bet is Napheesa Collier under her 8.5 boards today at plus 110. It says she struggled to hit the line, this rebound line against the Sparks, averaging just 7 in the 2 matchups this season. Over her last 15 games, she's hit the under in 53% of those games, and her season average of 8.55 is only slightly above today's line. The Sparks have been effective at limited rebounds for opposing forwards, making this a challenging matchup for Napheesa Collier to exceed this 8.5 rebounds. At home, Collier hit the under in 50% of her games as well, further supporting this pick. So she's about a split, a 50-50 split at the crib. So Satu over 26.5 points plus rebounds. Napheesa Collier under 8.5 rebounds is what jaXon likes. As always, check the coupon code out if you guys are interested in checking jaXon out for any other things that you're looking forward to as well. Trying to get some assistance with. So that's jaXon. Getting into the games for today. First one we have up is the Mercury and the Chicago Sky. Just want to double check the injury report real quick. I know I saw that Alexa Held is out for the Phoenix Mercury. I think that's a pretty big deal. I was going through it. She has missed. She has scored like double digits for this Phoenix team. I think 6 or 7 games. But now Kahleah Copper should be back in this game. Kahleah Copper will be returning to Chicago as well, which is where she has played for quite a while. I think this will be her first game. Excuse me. I think this will be her first. Well, this will be her first game this season going back to Chicago. She did play against Chicago last season. But this is the franchise that, she helped build in a way, at least in the recent time. So that's something to take into consideration. Kahleah Copper should be pretty fresh after not playing the game against the Liberty. And then Megan McConnell continues to be out for the Phoenix Mercury as well. On the Chicago side, Mariah Jefferson is listed as game time decision. She has not played in quite a while, but they could definitely use her. She'll probably be a bit rusty if she does play. Listed as questionable with a leg injury. So something to take into consideration there. But they definitely need the guard play. Having Kia Nurse as the point guard is not a winning solution, in my opinion. And we got to remember that their starting point guard is out. What's her name? Cordy Vandersloot is out, of course, for Chicago, done for the season. So this line opened at 8 yesterday, and I was thinking to myself, man, I really don't want to lay a lot of points on the road with Phoenix. I just played Phoenix. Minus, 12.5, I think it was a couple nights ago against the Connecticut Sun, which I think are worse than the Chicago Sky. And Phoenix wanted no parts of covering that game. They won the first quarter in conventional fashions, like 22-9. And then after that, they just literally let up off the gas the whole entire rest of the game. They were dominated on the boards. They turned the ball over a lot. Chicago isn't a team that's going to turn you over a lot, but they are a team that's going to dominate the boards. They are like the best rebounding team in the WNBA. Phoenix, of course, is by far better. They're light years better than the Chicago team, but Chicago does have the rest advantage. This is the 4th straight road game for Phoenix. 4th game in 6 nights as well. All played on the road. Like I said, they played 5 of their last 6 games up and over the total as well. And they have not necessarily covered a lot of games when they have been laying big numbers so far this season. So that kind of scared me off of the spread. It hasn't scared Vegas off the spread. The point spread has went from 8 all the way up to 10.5, 11 now. I see I saw 12.5. It looks like consensus is about 10.5 or 11 I can't quite get there with the Phoenix Mercury. Situationally, it just doesn't line up. Now, Chicago is not great, and that's what makes this difficult. Chicago is actually one of the worst teams in the WNBA. It is a first leg of a back-to-back for them. They got to travel to Atlanta to play against the Dream tomorrow. They're only 1-3 straight up, and against the spread at home this season. They do have 3 days off in this spot. This is the second straight home game for them. They've played in 5 straight unders. Their offense is just one of the worst in the WNBA. They haven't scored 80 points or more this month. You got to go all the way back to May the 31st to find the last time that this Chicago Sky team has actually been able to score the basketball efficiently. But on the opposite side of that, we just saw Phoenix give up points to the Connecticut Sun the other day. So it's a really, really difficult game to bet from a side perspective. I started to go towards the total. And after, all of the thoughts I just shared with you guys is what I was thinking about the game. So I started to look at the total. This is the second time that these teams have played. You can see the first numbers are here. The Mercury got to 94 points. The Chicago Sky, terrible offensive team, got all the way to 89 in this game. I think Courtney Vandersloot was available for this game. So that's a big, big piece, of course, for this Chicago Sky's offense. You can see both teams shot the ball pretty well. Chicago only got 28% from the three-point line, but they were moving the ball. 25 assists is probably a season high for them as well. They flew up and over the total. This total opened 158. It is all the way up to 161 on most books. There's some 160 and a halves out there as well. I guess that's the way I would look in this game. I do think that the Mercury could potentially take their foot off the gas. Don't really care too much about playing defense in this game. I think Chicago will try to save something for tomorrow as well. Problem with the total, and the reason why I didn't bet it up and over is because, like I said, Chicago has played in 5 straight unders. This is not a good defensive team, but it's also not a good offensive team. Chicago is the worst team as far as points scored per game in the last 5 games, averaging just 67.6. So that scared me off. They're also the slowest paced team in the last 5 games, playing at 91.5 possessions per game. I know that the total's going up. I know it's a super low total. At 158, I probably would go over. Like I said, I don't think the Mercury going to play their best defensive game in this spot, but it's just a lean. I lean over. You can get a 160.5 right now on BetMGM, DraftKings, those are the best 2 numbers. So I'll lean over, thinking that the Chicago Sky will be able to score. The Mercury have been playing a lot faster as well recently. Phoenix is actually 4th in pace on the full season, 5th in pace over the last 5 games. Kalia Copper coming back, Satu Sabli being out there, and Alyssa Thomas. Makes a lot of sense that points are probably going to be scored in this game, especially with them laying points. They are 7-3. The Mercury are in their 10 wins so far this season. So they've covered 7 of those games. They're also 7-3 to the over. But they've only won 2 by double digits, which is why I couldn't get to them, plus the points here. Probably a over spot in my opinion. I also wanted to add something real quick before I go through the comments, and then I'll talk about a couple player props as well. Double-digit road favorites so far this season, which is what we see in this game, are only 3-7 against the spread on the season. Those games typically go over 6-3-1 to the over. Is what we've seen so far. 10 double-digit road favorites. The most recent one I think of is the Fever laying 10 points. In Golden State, lost the game outright. It did go up and over the total. Didn't go over the total that we got, but it did go up and over the total. So that's my thought process. That's my thought process on this game. Like I said, I haven't bet it, but I kind of want to play over. Chicago really holds me up from doing so, though. Like, they really, really hold me up from doing so. That's my thought process, though. Let's see what you guys are thinking. I love it. Says go Mercury. Chad says Mercury only didn't cover the Sun game because was first leg of back-to-back. Save energy. Don't think that's applicable here, bro. I would disagree with that a little bit, Chad. I think the Connecticut Sun I don't think turning the ball over has anything to do with energy and like saving energy for the Liberty. I'm not saying it wasn't a look ahead spot, but in my opinion, I think Connecticut plays hard, and the Sky weren't playing hard. And when I look at like I said, when I look at the Mercury wins, they typically don't win by double digits. So when these lines start to get this big, even 8, like I couldn't lay the 8 with them yesterday. The Mercury have 1, 2, they got 3 wins this season by double digits. They beat the Storm on opening night, which was a crazy spot. Beat the Storm by 22 on opening night, and they beat the Valkyries by 9. They beat the Wings by 13. And I guess you could say that they do go in that category. But on the road, if you look at their road wins, none of them come by this many points, Chad. None of them. They've won. They beat the Sparks by 5. They beat the Aces by 6. They beat the Sun by 8, and they beat the Liberty by 8. So yeah, I couldn't quite get there. Could not quite get there. Mark says, "Oh boy, a better Merc on the road. 4th game against the rest of Sky pass." That's why I'm at 2, Mark. I can't quite get there, man. We're gonna talk about this real quick, Jason, because I was looking at AT today. We'll talk about this. I'm gonna pull it up on the screen in a second. What's up, Boogie Ace? Appreciate you for tapping in. Jay Holiday says, "What's up, Chris? Happy birthday to moms. What do you think about the Lynx game under?" We'll talk about that in just a second. Appreciate the birthday love to Mom Dukes. DJ Pop says, HVL. Haley Van Loo. Okay, I'm like, who is HVL? Playing more minutes lately and will bring a spark to Chicago's offense. I could definitely see that. And I thought about this, right? Phoenix team total being at 86. They don't necessarily need to score that many points to win, though. In their road wins, they're only averaging 83 points per game. They've typically been doing it much more with defense. They've only gotten to 86 points one time this season. That was against the Liberty in the last game. So you could say it's a little bit of a letdown spot for them as well. I was actually looking into the letdown spot. Let me see if I still got it up. I was looking into the letdown spot. So first thing, I want to just share this real quick. So a total of less than 162 and a road favorite laying 10 points or more, only 21, 32, and 1 against the numbers. So they only covering less than 40% against the spread. And of course, this is all seasonal data, all like goes all the way back to 2011. So you could take that with a grain of salt. But when I looked at, since 2021, actually even worse, 5-15 and 1 against the number are road favorites laying double digits with a total less than 162. 5-15 and 1, 25% ATS. They're winning by about 6 points per game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The last 6 have not covered. The Mercury against the Sun was in the same spot. The Storm and the Valkyries, same spot. Aces and the Valkyries, same spot. Dream and the Sun earlier this season, same spot. And the Liberty and the Mystics, same spot earlier this season. Last one this season was the Lynx and the Valkyrie. So this has been super profitable this year. To take the Sky. It's ugly, but to take the Sky plus the points. The bigger the line gets, the more I kind of lean towards the Sky. They are a terrible team, though. Don't get it twisted. The Sky are terrible. It's ugly. It's ugly, but that's kind of the side I think I want to be on. Boogie says travel fatigue plus letdown spot after Spink and the Liberty. Want to lean Sky, but they go into bum mode so much, can easily lose by double digits. And that's a fact. It's exactly how I feel about the game. Happy birthday to your mom, Justin. Appreciate that, man. Hopefully you get to celebrate her, man. Hopefully she has a great day. Tell your mom, your guy Chris said happy birthday. Happy birthday. Boogie Ace and Mark, definitely thinking the same thing I'm thinking in this game. Let's go over to potential player prop bet. And like I said, I do lean under, did not bet it. So if we go over to Outlier, as always, 7-day free trial link is in the description of the video. If we just let me just update this. If we look at in the Alyssa Thomas, we think about how bad this Chicago Sky's defense is. If I'm betting, I know somebody said points plus assists or points plus rebounds. I'm taking all of it. 30.5 for her points, rebounds, and assists is listed here. You can see that she's just, the line's just too low. I know Kalia Copper is coming back today. That's going to help a lot. But, she's going to have the ball in her hands a ton, right? 30 and a half points, rebounds, and assists. 40, 33, 33. This was on a back-to-back. It didn't matter. 4 of her last 5 games. You can see 7 of her last 10, 7 of her last 9 this season. These are the games just this season. She's only played 9 games this season. That was everything that I showed you guys going back to last season. But look at this. I mean, she's been dominant. And it's not a defense that's going to put up much resistance. You can see that the Sky, allowed the 4th most points, the 4th most assists, 3rd most rebounds, but I think she can go down there and clean up on the boards as well. She also had 15 assists in the last game that they played when they played earlier this season. So assists at 8.5. It is juiced minus 135, but yeah, Alyssa Thomas double-double, Alyssa Thomas assists, Alyssa Thomas points plus rebounds and assists. I think it all could potentially cash here. The head-to-head matchup is here. 15 assists in the earlier matchup. They were at home in this game, but 15 assists in this game makes a ton of sense. Makes a ton of sense because it's just not a good defense. It's not a good defense at all. So yeah, I couldn't talk anybody off. Alyssa Thomas points, rebounds, and assists. Her actual assists, whatever you want to bet with Alyssa Thomas. She's just a bully down there, and I don't think she's trying to get bullied by Cardosa and Angel Reese and the me board. So yeah, that's the way that I would. I couldn't talk anybody off Alyssa Thomas today. The player props go left, man. Whenever I play a player prop, it typically goes left. So I typically been staying off of player props. But yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you guys there. Oh, my fault. Your mom. You have a birthday with my mom, Justin. Well, happy birthday to you, my guy. I thought you said me and your mom share a birthday. I thought you said my mom and your mom share birthday. My mom and your mom share a birthday. You were saying that you and my mom share a birthday. Yeah, happy birthday, Justin. Happy birthday, my brother. Appreciate you, Mark. Use Gaming says 12 assists for Alyssa. Let's get it. Like that. Jason says Chris over 29.5 points, rebounds, and assists at bet 265, juiced at minus 125. Bet 365. I didn't see. Let me see what that best number at. 29.5 is crazy though. Let's see. Then we'll go to the next game. Let's see if I have that on bet 365. Yep, you're right. Minus 125. And this is 31.5 on ESPN Bet. Shout out to Jason in the chat. 29.5. If you want to take the juice. I kind of do want to take the juice. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna write that down. Over 29.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I freak myself out. I'm like, hold on. Is it like, do the books know that Kalia Copper is about to go crazy today and go over her points prop for the first time this season? With her, with the minutes increase, I was looking into Kalia Copper as well. She has her minutes have continued to go up. I think she played 18 in the first game against the Aces. She played 22 against Connecticut. Then she didn't play in the last game. She's back home right now. So, does Kalia Copper, is this her breakout game? 14.5 is what she's listed at. I mean, Kalia Copper could get 20 against this team. She knows the gym really well. So that's what scares me off a little bit, Jason, but it makes sense. AT makes a ton of sense here. Mercury minus 7.5 for Chad. Got a good number. Double much better at bet 365 plus 115 as opposed to minus 115 on FanDuel. I love the line shopping, Jason. That's my type of guy. All right, let's go to the next game. Oh, so I did put this in here as well. Situationally for Phoenix. So this just shows teams at a rest disadvantage, also coming off win as a dog, and now they're laying double digits. Not super profitable. 3-5 against the spread. 6-2 to the under as well, which is another reason why I didn't play the total. But only happened 8 times in the Give Me the Dog database, but not a profitable lens for this Phoenix Mercury team. Double-digit favorites coming off a win as a dog with the rest disadvantage is typically a spot you want to play on the home dog in the next game, or the dog in general in the next game. All right, moving over to the last game. Let's just double check the line real quick. Sparks in the Lynx. This line was at 11 yesterday when I wrote it down. It quickly started to come down to 10 when Kelsey Plum was taken off the injury report. And then when Nafisha Collier being listed as questionable, it went all the way down to 9.5, and now it's back up to 10. The total I wrote in my notes 161 yesterday. It's up to 163.5. Real quick, before we jump into the handicap on this game, I put this at the top of my notes. I forgot to share it. There have been 6 straight overs in the WNBA. So you could tell yourself these totals are a tad bit too low. Every game went over yesterday. Every game went over, I think, the night before that. 6 straight overs. The totals have been bet up today as well. Both games have been bet up. So you could tell yourself, I kind of want to ride the wave of these totals. Maybe the odds makers are just putting them too low. Or you could tell yourself there's some regression that's coming for some of these teams. So I wanted to make sure I said that before I forgot. So I mentioned the injury report. Kelsey Plum is back. She's off the injury report. Nafisha Collier is listed as questionable with a back injury. And Odyssey Sims is out. That's a big, big part. So I want to talk through the Odyssey Sims injury, and I want to talk through Nafisha Collier because I was looking into this yesterday without Fee on the floor. Let's see. I think I wrote it in my notes somewhere. Maybe I did not. Maybe I just thought I was going to remember it or something. But let's just pull it back up real quick. So without Nafisha Collier on the floor, she's listed as questionable. And you got to ask yourself, right? Does Nafisha Collier play today? The Minnesota Lynx got a big game coming up in about a week, a little over a week, in the Commissioner's Cup. They'll be at home against the Indiana Fever, where they land 4.5 points at already. The Minnesota Lynx already beat this. They've already beaten this Sparks team. Actually, spanked the Sparks. Beat them 101 to 78 just 2 games ago, and they do not. Let me just double check that. That can't be right? They don't have that much time off, do they? Let me just double check real quick. Hold on. Bear with me. I want to look at this real quick. I'll tell you guys some quotes that I saw about this last night as well. All right. So after this game, they travel to DC on Tuesday. Wow. I want to go to that game. I did not know that. Okay. So they play in DC on Tuesday. Then they go to Atlanta on Friday. Then they got Connecticut on Sunday, back at home. So they'll be, for the Commissioner's Cup game against Indiana, they'll be at home for the second straight game. And then they play Washington again. Washington will come to them. So they got a little 2-game road trip after this. This is their 3rd straight home game. And like I said, they go to DC. Go to DC on Tuesday. I'm going to have to look up tickets. Not going to lie to you guys. I did not realize that Fee might be in DC. I say all that to say that does Nafisha Collier play in this game? When I was listening to the injury report and doing some deep digging on the injuries, it sounded like Nate Tibbetts, the assistant coach that used to coach for the Mystics, was saying yesterday that they're going, pretty much what he was saying is they're going to take their time with Nafisha Collier. They don't want to rush her back. And if she didn't play in this game, that wouldn't surprise me. But then I hear Coach Crystal Reeves, the head coach, she says that, this is an injury that Nafisha Collier has dealt with before. She's had some plantar fasciitis before, but this is an injury, also a back injury that she's had before. So I'm not sure if he's going to play. Without Nafisha Collier on the floor, the offense, of course, struggles the most. They have an offensive rating of 99 with Nafisha Collier off the floor and an offensive rating of 113 with her on the floor. So that's significant, right? They are plus 13 with Nafisha Collier on the floor. Defensively, they're about the same. 96 with her on the floor, 95 with her off the floor. So if Nafisha Collier doesn't play, I would lean towards an under. And then on the opposite side of Fee, you got Odyssey Sims, who is still out. And that is big, right? She's out for personal reasons. The Sparks are minus 19 in net rating without her on the floor and a +1 with her on the floor. So, you could tell there's a significant difference with Odyssey Sims, the true point guard on this team, not being there. And offensive rating of 105 when she's on the floor, 97 without her. So if both of these players don't play, I would expect she won't play. Odyssey Sims is out. But if Nafisha Collier doesn't play, I would be looking towards an under, especially with the total coming up a little bit. The defensive rating also is a minus 13 without her as well. So you wouldn't think about, I don't think about Odyssey Sims being that impactful of a player. I know she's impactful, but that's big. That's kind of like the same type vibes as Nafisha Collier not being there. This Sparks team is 4-2 against the spread on the road, just 3-7 against the spread on the season. To me, that shows how bad they are at home and how good they've been on the road specifically. And I mentioned these teams have played already. In this game here, they absolutely got smoked from the beginning. If you look up top up here, you can see Minnesota, this was the game they were coming back home after losing to Seattle, and they took all their frustration out against this Sparks team. 34-15 at the end of the first quarter, 24-11 in the second quarter. I mean, the game was pretty much over, right? 58-26 at halftime. And then the Sparks actually won the third quarter and the fourth quarter. And if you go back and listen to the post-game interview, I was listening to Rickea Jackson and the head coach, talking about how, they need to start the game off a little bit better. To me, that doesn't make that, that I could see that happening in this spot. It's not like these teams just played like, yesterday or the day before. But it makes sense for the Sparks to come out and potentially want to throw the first punch here. Minnesota is not a great, first half team, just 4-7-1 against the spread in the first half at home. But they are 6-6 full game ATS, meaning that they're a really good third quarter team and showcasing their ability to be able to put it together in the third and fourth quarter. I can see the Sparks throwing the first punch here. We just saw a very, very similar scenario, right? The Washington Mystics gets absolutely smoked at home last Sunday against the Atlanta Dream. They come out and they cover last night. So maybe the Lynx are not as locked in as they should be. I kind of want to play the Sparks team total over. I think it's like 74.5. I know that the Sparks are not as good as this Minnesota Lynx team. I know defensively the Sparks are terrible. I know that the Lynx can win the game by 10 plus points, but I don't really want to lay it, especially if Nafisha Collier is not going to play. I think the Sparks could potentially keep this one closer. Like I said, they're just better on the road in general as well. I can't expect their defense to be great, but I expect them to be a little bit better than giving up 101 points. I think that's manageable. So, yeah, that's my thought process. I know that the Sparks can win this game by double digits. I don't want to lay the points with them, though. Not with the way some of these favorites have been looking recently. If his live opportunity presents itself, depending on the Nafisha Collier status, then potentially, but I couldn't quite get there. G421 says, "What's good, Chris? It's officially Mystics. It's official. Mystics a covering machine. They could have won that game last night." Mark says he laid the -9.5 with the Minnesota Lynx in this spot. That number is now gone. And I wish you the best of luck, Mark. Sparks don't play any defense. I agree with that, Jason. They are not a great defensive team. I don't know, man. I watched this Minnesota Lynx team really, really struggle. I don't know what it is. It's like the basketball has the rim has a lid on it. I mean, they struggle. If you watch that game against the Aces, they struggled to score, and the Aces are a terrible defense as well. They really struggled to score the basketball early in that game. Worked out well for for them to have to play defense and hold the Aces under their team total, but I don't know, man. Sometimes those threes just don't fall. And if we look at the Sparks defense, real quick, they are not great. They're actually giving up the most points per game in the last 5 and 91.2 per game. They're also playing at the second fastest pace. The Minnesota Lynx are number 1 in opponent defense overall and full game. And specifically where the Sparks give it up at is from above the break three, which we know, Kayla McBride likes to shoot a lot of. They got a lot of Bridget Carlton, Lana Smith, Nafisha Collier, Courtney Williams. They got a lot of guards that can exploit that. They're giving up the most threes, giving up the most three-point attempts. Man, I just kind of think that I don't really want to lay the points. I kind of think the Sparks will be able to score as well. And I know it's kind of crazy to think because the Aces, the Lynx defense is so good, but that's just the way I kind of think about the game, man. The way I think about it. What's up, Talis? It's just signing in. This is an official call Listen Thomas Day. Cannot talk you off. We talked about it. If you want to go back and listen to it, Taylor. Jason says Sarah Ashley Barker isn't bad. She had 12 and 7 last game in 34 minutes. Filling in for Plum when she was out. Yeah, she's not too bad. She's not too bad, especially for to be a rookie. Like, she'll get better too. What's up, PG? Appreciate you for tapping in. Lando says, I like Chicago. They died for a win at home. They do for a win at home. I agree with that. I agree with I love it. Says I'll catch it live. What up, Dom? Appreciate you for tapping in. Live bet for me. This card is quite untrustworthy, and I agree. This is one of the reasons I've not made a bet yet. KC says team total over gotta be better than the spread. No Sims, yeah, and I agree with that. KC, I remember right. If we go back to last game, when these two teams just played, the Sparks team total was very, very similar to what it is right now. It was 74.5, 73.5, and the Sparks got to 78. You can see it in the graphic on the screen, and I think they can get to 77 today. I kind of feel like they'll be able to score, but I don't feel enough conviction to play it early. I don't, if I'm being honest, which is why I haven't played it yet. But yeah, without Sims, it's tough. It's tough because this Lynx defense, now that the New York Liberty have experienced the setbacks of not having Phoebus for a couple games, playing against some of the better offensive teams like the Connecticut Sun. I'm sorry, not the Connecticut Sun, like the Phoenix Mercury, like the Indiana Fever. They're not even the best defense anymore. The Minnesota Lynx are the best defense, and it's not even close. Like the the New York Liberty defense has kind of fell off in the last couple games. Their defense is now fallen to 9th in as far as opponent points allowed per game, giving up 83. And this Lynx team is number 1 at 74.8. So I couldn't quite get to a full game over because I know that the Lynx can win with offense and defense. I don't know. I kind of want to make a bet on the Sparks today, but specifically on the Sparks team total. G421 says, in agreement, Chris, running that Sparks first half play from last season. KC says, Plum got to turn it over, going to turn it over to ruin the cover. I could definitely see that. McBride is from my hometown. I played against her in summer leagues. Cool. That's pretty cool. Kayla McBuckets. Barker's trash. She be lost out there against the good teams, KC. She all right, though. Dribble, turnover, and don't know what to be. She'll get there. Let's see. Parlay J says, I'm taking the Sky and the Sparks on the spread. They stand alone. These standalone games are competitive, and the injuries even things out a little. But Odyssey Sims not being there, man. Mark says, damn, KC. Yeah, KC act like she must have bet on Sarah Parker at Sarah Ashley Parker. She did her dirty or something, which I know she didn't because I don't think you can get her lines. But yeah, I don't think she's that bad. She's not as bad as KC makes her seem, in my opinion. She's not great either, especially on the defensive end. And it's tough, man. Like I said, it's tough. The dogs, all 3 dogs covered yesterday, though. Got to keep that in mind, man. All 3 dogs covered yesterday. Even if it was by 1 point, on a 3-pointer. Yeah, but all 3 dogs covered yesterday. You see these big lines, they are all inflated. They've only been pushed up now. If Fee gets ruled in, this Minnesota line is probably gonna go to 11. This is more of a live betting spot. Tomorrow, I got a couple plays for tomorrow for sure. Because it's 5 games. So I won't force it. The WNBA is highly volatile, man. If you are new to betting it, it can absolutely make you want to pull your hair out at times with the way that these teams play. And sometimes it's just how sharp these lines are too. I'm looking to fade Connecticut every chance I get, though. I'm going to tell you guys that. And they are playing against the Valkyries tomorrow. The Valkyries are going to be a favorite for the first time tomorrow. In my opinion, the line isn't out yet, but I do think the Valkyries will be laying a point tomorrow. Maybe 2 points, 3 points tomorrow. And I'm still fading Connecticut. I'm going to fade them again tomorrow. So we shall see how it all goes tomorrow, man. Best of luck on whatever these you guys are betting. One more thing I wanted to share real quick before we jump off of here. Forgot to talk about this because I didn't write it down, but it was something that I've been paying attention to. And jaXon talked about liking the rebound prop under for Nafisha Collier, right? So if we go look at Fee real quick, we look at her rebound prop. I'm not betting on Fee to go under, just FYI. That's not something I like to do with my money. So head-to-head matchup, she has gone under in 2 straight games. These are the games so far this season. This was a game last season. 6 and 8 rebounds in those 2 games. So she has struggled to get to 9+ rebounds. But what I was looking at, and one of the reasons why she may have struggled was because Dearica Hamby has actually been really good on the boards. Her rebounds was listed at 7.5 yesterday when I was going through the game. She's actually cashed her rebound prop in both of the games so far against this Minnesota Lynx team. So only 7 against Seattle. Seattle's one of their better rebounding teams in the W, but 12 against Minnesota here, 8 against the Sparks here. And then she got to 9 against Golden State, 8 and 10. So we just look at this season. She's 7 for 13 to the over, and the head-to-head matchup, she has gone over 10 and 12. So 7.5 feels like a little bit of a discount for her to get 8 boards when she's had 2 games where she's had 10+ against this same team. And then you can see the last 5 games dating back to last season. Last 6 games, she's over in 5 of the last 6 as well. So Dearica Hamby boards feels like a play that could be slept on today. And I just wanted to share that with you guys as well. I don't know if I'll get there, but to me, it makes a lot of sense. KC says Hamby, those be betting each other on the boards like darts, not bets, not trying to get anyone fined. G421 says teams competitive this season in the W. I guess that's what you call it, man. I think it's just letdown spots that you can't quite see. And we'll see. We shall see, man. The Lynx have not been good in the first half, though. They could cover this game and win it all in the second half like they did against the Aces in the last game. But also be interested to see if the Lynx let up a little bit, being that they got that Commissioners game coming up, or if they can keep their foot to the pedal in their their revenge tour season for the Minnesota Lynx after losing Game 5 last year to the New York Liberty on a controversial call. We'll say that. So again, I didn't bet anything for today. If I was going to bet today, we just get into a quick recap. If I was going to bet today, it would be Phoenix, Chicago. Man, I really want to put over on here, but I can't even do that, honestly. Chicago's offense is so bad. I can't even put that on here. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Chicago plus the points. It's ugly, but the dogs have been covering, man. Chicago plus the points, plus what let me make this red because I didn't bet it yet. If I bet it. Chicago plus 11 on DraftKings. And I would go Sparks team total over. I want to see if he plays, though, because if he plays, then I think it has a better chance of going over. If it doesn't play, the Lynx will have to rely more on their defense, in my opinion. So over 76.5, I think, would be the way that I would play this. Yeah. And Dearica Hamby over her 7.5 boards. And Alyssa Thomas over 30.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I think these would be my 4 favorite plays today. Yeah, I'm just thinking. You got to think long and hard before you place a bet in the W, man. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, especially if you don't get the early numbers. I'm probably gonna end up doing another show tomorrow, doing another show tonight to get ahead for tomorrow's slate. So if I do, I mean, you guys will see the link if you're subscribed. Make sure you got the notification bell turned on. And if I add anything, if I do play anything, any official plays, I'll send them out to the members. The link is in the description, as it always is. So are the resources in the description as well. So check these out if you guys are interested. And that'll be the show for today. Best of luck if you guys are betting the W today, man. Enjoy your Saturday, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.